This project has been very much about personal history, identity, and understanding my own history, but also in the context of the Xhosa history. Being a descendant of the 1820 settlers, I realize how much history has been written and documented, but it's all written in the context of the 1820 settlers, and very little has been written about the Xhosa side of the story. But both stories are told quite separately. So the settler Xhosa story is very specific to this body of work, but at the same time this is like a microcosm of a story that's told on a global level in so many ways, in so many generations. But because this year is 200 years since the 1820 settlers arrived, I thought it was really important to not just focus on the 1820 settler story, but look at who we are as a collective of people from that time, from the frontier wars. I have been working alongside and documenting a group of artists in the Eastern Cape from the Kaiskamer Art Project in a tiny little hamlet called Hamburg, which is halfway between Port Alfred and East London. And it dawned on me that there I was working, documenting their work, documenting their artistry, documenting their embroidery, yet we were all descendants from this crazy time in South African history, which were the frontier wars, the Xhosa frontier wars between the British colonialists and the Xhosa. So my ancestors landed in 1820 in April, and they were taken to some land which was right next to what was called the clay pits. But when the 1820 settlers arrived, the British government stopped the Xhosa from crossing the boundary to come and collect the rock to make the clay as a way of retaining power over the area. So it made that area an incredibly dangerous, conflictual area for my ancestors to live in, but also for the Xhosa to come across because there was a war going on. So we went and we actually found where the clay pits are situated, and we collected some of the rocks and we took them back to the studio and we crushed the rock and we developed and made this beautiful ochre pigment which we used throughout the artworks. The fabric's actually been a really integral and important part of the process because we've collected and we've sourced material from all different places. We've had very, very English-inspired William Morrissey kind of florals, and we've juxtaposed that with shweshwe and wax print. So they're not necessarily from the Eastern Cape, but they're more of a commentary on this strange relationship between fabric and influence in British colonialism and colonialism just generally in Africa, and looking at who we are now and how have those different patterns and those different styles influenced us and who we are today. The objective of this exhibition is not to try and create a solution, it's to crack open the possibility of dialogue. It's a platform for people to come and discuss their histories and to look at how it's so impossible to actually disentangle our histories from one another. And we try and tell history in a linear way, but actually there's this huge confusion and mesh of complexities under the told history that is important to visit and to understand for oneself. And it's also the danger of telling a single story. What we're trying to do here as artists is to try and tell the combined stories. And it's not, again, a solution, and it doesn't mean that it's all perfect and fantastic. It just means that we can talk about it and that hopefully other people will be able to talk about it. And especially this year with the 200th centenary of the settlers arriving, I'm really hoping that this will be a little bit disruptive to the notion of glorifying that too much.